Japan has managed to produce two of the deadliest men in the sport of boxing.
Right hand! He just answered the question! As Neri has crumbled!
Two technical geniuses who are prone to ripping opponents apart with zero notice.
That was a big shot right there!
Beautiful left hand.
Oh, the fight's over!
Naoya Inoue is the man who has the sport in the palm of his hand right now. But Junto Nakatani represents an entirely different type of challenge. Both men have the power to turn the other's lights out in an instant. And with Nakatani singling himself out as Inoue's top contender, they're clearly on a collision course. Is there a more lethal finisher in the sport today than the monster? He's the perfect mix of technical precision and power.
Right hand there, backed up to Paulez.
Capable of dominating from distance or getting up close and personal, Nakatani is similarly lethal. Another perfectly balanced killer, capable of ending fights with little to no warning. Could Inoue stand up to the power and ferocity of Nakatani? Is this what it's going to take to finally dethrone this living legend? Or would Inoue once again prove that he is truly on another level? All we need now is to see this riveting contest become a reality and to see which Japanese warrior truly wants it more. No matter which one you predict to score the victory, it'll clearly be violent. Will it be the untested waters of Junto Nakatani or the tried and tested Naoya Inoue? Remember, if you want to support the channel, use your hype feature. Would Maloney's experience be of any use to him in there, with a human wrecking machine like Nakatani? Well, the first round certainly was used as a feeling out process for both men.
Fires it off again.
Blocked by Maloney.
He should be rough and be physical. Good shot right there from Nakatani, but he should also throw to the body. Clean, crisp shots right there.
Trying with a short right uppercut on the inside was Maloney. Oh, it was a body shot that time from Nakatani as Maloney came forward.
Nakatani was clearly the more well-developed fighting computer of the two, and in the second round, he began turning up his volume.
Silly Lomachenko, that is coming up.
Maloney froze him right in his tracks. You see him moving around, trying to clear his head right now.
Doubles up the uppercut, and then goes with a knockdown, scored with a right uppercut. Two lefts and a right, Nakatani scores it.
You know, the poison for him is the uppercut. He leans over his front knee when he's trying to get inside, as you see right there, leaning over his front knee. And I knew Nakatani had an uppercut waiting for him, and that's why I said what I said at the beginning.
The undefeated power puncher looking to get after Maloney here.
It's the upper test. Right and left
Hook comes
uppercuts.
in. Left uppercut again, right uppercut again.
Nakatani went away from the upper and then came back to it after the body shot.
Another right hand to the body, showing all the offense here in round number two. The undefeated recent world champion who moved up in weight, looking to claim another division. Stakes are much higher here, though. His first attempt at a widely recognized world title. Nakatani's had one.
I see blood.
The right eye looks like there's some redness and some blood. There's another right uppercut from Nakatani.
That's the shot, the right or left uppercut.
But if Junto thought he could go out there and run through Maloney, he thought wrong.
Down. Big round for the undefeated Nakatani.
The only way Maloney's going to slowly get himself in this fight is by letting his punches go. When he is in range, close to Nakatani, he's got to throw. He's got to start putting some money in the bank with body shots and uppers and short shots inside.
He looking for that uppercut.
That was the feint you were looking for.
That's
right
the
there.
feint,
And
yes.
that caused good shot. Before I could finish my sentence, Nakatani corrected himself and landed the uppercut.
Knockdown was scored in round number two. Big clash of heads earlier in this round.
Nakatani's opponent found himself in a decent run of form in round four, showing his quality.
Could hear it.
Not sure Nakatani has gotten out of second gear yet. I think he's still fighting on cruise control. No respect to Maloney, but he's facing a smaller guy.
Tried to time a left hand as Maloney opened up.
Yep, off the probe. Yep. That's it. Just occupying that space, keeping them at bay, putting a barrier.
Just missed a straight left right there, Nakatani.
There's the right uppercut.
By round 5, there was no doubting it anymore. Junto Nakatani had a legitimate fight on his hands.
But look, he shortened the shot up and he's getting them there.
It's a dead zone for Maloney. He doesn't need to be out there.
Even when he gets close, he's getting ate up with uppercuts.
This right here, it's Nakatani's range.
So
just missed that straight left right there.
I'm just telling, it's just so discouraging right now. I'm watching this fight. I'm just saying he's getting beat on the outside and he's getting beat on the inside.
Listen, we've been around Rudy Hernandez for years and years. The brother of the former late world champion Gennaro Hernandez. He speaks of Nakatani in ways that few trainers speak of their charges in. We're going to have the punch of the night from our undercard when we come back. You got to see this.
Maloney was fighting without fear, which is commendable, considering how many opponents Nakatani had destroyed to get here.
Sneaky right hook right there to the body.
You're holding. Let his arm go. There you go.
You know, I thought Nakatani was just a power guy. I thought he just had one punch. But let me just say he's still dangerous.
Still dangerous.
A lot of versatility. I'm starting to see Nakatani boxing.
The fans were certainly getting their money's worth, that's for sure.
The fight tile, purchase the pay-per-view. This is, so far, listen, we've had great moments in the sport this year.
There you go.
Good shot.
There's a body shot that comes in. And then 2 uppercuts come right back from Nakatani.
Referee's doing a great job as well, trying to stay out of the action as often as he can, as much as he can. Good shot right there. I felt that body shot right there from Nakatani. That was good. He spun out. Good shot from both guys.
Wow, both guys going to the body simultaneously.
And if you're Nakatani, you're saying, oh my God, what's keeping this man up? Every other guy that I faced in my careers this far, I hit him with these shots and they fall.
Nakatani was starting to find his flow in round 8, punishing Maloney at every opportunity.
Just spoke with Rudy Hernandez, who trains Junto Nakatani, and he says, look, we've got a guy with a strong will in front of us. We want to be at the distance. He's getting inside, so Junto's got to land those uppercuts to keep discouraging him.
Making it a little bit more difficult for Maloney to get inside on him.
And that's when Maloney's having all this trouble.
Yep.
Where he's allowing this to happen. Just because Nakatani makes an adjustment doesn't mean that you go along with it. Maloney needs to live inside, not just taking punches, but landing as well.
He needs to be all the way out, Dre. Good body shot.
Yeah, left hand to the body, and then back to the uppercut goes Nakatani. And here's the clap, and turns on the offense a little more. 4-punch combination, and weaving his way out. Back to the right uppercut. And that's how we finish the 8th.
Nakatani did not want to see this one go to the scorecards. That much was clear.
Against Vincent Astrolabia. Just stuck with the jab, boxed his way to a win.
Nakatani's like 3 Astrolabias.
Yes, absolutely, Dre.
Break.
Pivot.
Yeah, I don't know what turned off in Maloney after the 7th round, which was a competitive round for both, but a good round for him. And you may risk getting knocked out in order to try to get your shot through.
Nice left hook.
Punching between punches.
That's what he needs to do.
Maloney has to work harder, 10 times more than Nakatani to be able to get to where he needs to get to. So he's starting to fade and he's absorbing a ton of punishment.
And there's only going to be 9 minutes left to solve it all.
As the championship rounds approached, it started to look as though Maloney was going to take Nakatani the distance.
Clinic right there.
I agree.
He knows his fighter is trailing. He knows time is running out. It's round number 10 of a championship fight. He's delivering a message that we may need to stop him.
He's been hit with some shots tonight. He's had his way for the most part in this fight, but he's not afraid. He doesn't mind scrapping and getting in close. It just doesn't serve him very well.
Let him go. Get your
Maloney's
hands
got
free.
2.5 rounds to try to make something happen.
He needs a knockout.
And he wants to go home and be on that long flight knowing that he's done everything that he possibly can.
Yes.
He can't leave anything here or leave anything in the tank. He wants to leave it all here.
1-2 from range. Another 1-2.
He said he was so disciplined.
Yes.
Never seen a fighter or had another fighter that was disciplined as Nakatani.
Unfortunately for Maloney, Nakatani still had one final gear to go up to.
Switch it up, then you surprise them. Remember, it's the punch that they don't see is the one that usually hurts them.
Oh! A straight left hand floors Maloney.
5, 6. Listen, are you good
Well,
to go?
Nakatani set it up off the
Protect
jab.
yourself,
Nice
okay?
stick right there. You see the jab? Do you see Maloney? He moved his head to the left to avoid the jab, but then he brought his head.
You good? Walk over here.
Long range left hand from Nakatani. He has been sharp shooting all night, in complete control. Comes with the left hand again. Tries to split the guard behind the jab. Maloney looking to tie up. Still over a minute to survive here in round number 11.
Straight left hand, right on the money. Another one, Tess. Maloney's doing his best to try to clear his head.
There's that uppercut. He has shown everything in the offensive arsenal tonight.
I can tell you this, you can't doubt the toughness of Maloney. He is one tough cookie.
Like Naoya Inoue.
Yes.
Who was the recent undisputed bantamweight champion, who now is going to 122 pounds. That is a great matchup among world champions. Double jab, left hand, uppercut.
In the end, Nakatani proved that he was unwilling to let this one slide, and when he found his moment to punish his opponent, it was incredible.
Not only can he keep his height and his reach,
Remember, this fight was almost stopped after the 11th round by the corner of Maloney. They sent him back out, and now he's a half minute away from going the distance in what will most likely be lopsided scores and a championship won for Nakatani. Oh my! That was devastating! He is laid out in brutal fashion. Absolute devastating dynamite power by Nakatani, and now there is a situation in the ring with Maloney. They need medical attention in there right away. That was as brutal of a single punch as you will ever see. Here's what happened.
my gosh.
Watch his legs. That's all you need to know. Watch the legs.
Flick jab. Sting getting range. He sees him coming in. Times him perfectly. Gets his head off the line. Looping left hand. Knuckles pointed down. Oh my goodness.
It's as big as it gets. It's as powerful of a single knockout punch as you'll see in the sport. Junto Nakatani wins a world championship and stays undefeated with this monstrous left hand. And I want you to see it in real time and listen to it. Here it is. Listen to this punch.
This was an instant contender for KO of the year, and it also stood as further proof of Junto Nakatani's elite status within the boxing world. Jason Maloney came into his fight with Naoya Inoue with a very strong resume, but he was about to learn a lesson about levels that he would truly never forget. Nobody was surprised to see the first round fought at a slow pace.
Maloney lands a shot of his own. A few mistakes that he does make, leaving himself exposed and doesn't get off the line, but Maloney said, I've got to be quick enough, I got to be smart enough, and I got to be strong enough to make him pay as he takes another Inoue jab.
Naoya has always been the type of fighter to make reads early, although this one wouldn't take long.
Nice body shot.
Maloney was trying to get out of the way and throw a right hand all at the same time.
That's a lot to process in just 1 millisecond. There's that left hook from Naoya Inoue here to close out the second round.
Oh, nice left hook.
The energy in the arena started to change slightly when round 3 arrived.
Maloney takes it well. There it is. Once again, the attack. Right hand, left hand.
My essentials packet, the right uppercut for Inoue.
That first step of Inoue is a lot for Maloney to process right now. He's thinking, trying to figure out what his next move is.
Had that power going from the bottom up. Oh, beautiful double uppercut from Naoya Inoue. Nice right there from Jason Maloney on the inside. Using his strength, and he gets clipped by a left hook.
Is making Maloney forget his game plan. He forgot what he came here to do.
Ooh, left uppercut from Naoya Inoue. Switches up, and now you see the legs of Maloney a little wobbly as he continues with the attack.
Inoue was starting to get comfortable, a nightmare situation for any opponent.
With it and the pressure he's putting on Maloney right now, Maloney is a good fighter. He's a good quality fighter. And he's making him look ordinary.
Oh, nice counter to the body from Naoya. That's a hard thing to do when you got a guy who's sticking you with power.
He's being out muscled. I mean, that power and that speed.
Mid-range, inside, it doesn't matter. He's controlling this fight. He's leading, he's countering, he's out-speeding, out-quicking, and he has more power than Maloney. How you gonna deal with that if you don't open up and try to get some respect?
You know, he gets a little enamored with this punching power. He just wants to admire his work at times, and Maloney is finding home for his right hand occasionally.
There you see the finishing shots from Naoya Inoue as round 4 comes to a conclusion.
By round 5, the feeling of anticipation began to grow.
Mistakes the fighter makes, but the question is, can the opponent do anything about it, or if they're going to have the courage to try to risk
inside the trenches? But he needs to be careful because Inoue will set him up with a counter. He'll look to punch in between his shots.
Inoue's got the power advantage, the quickness advantage, and a 2.5-inch reach advantage, which we saw just moments ago as his jab got to its destination.
Yeah,
devastation.
Thank you.
But sometimes it's, oh, big right hand there from Inoue, and Maloney takes it, and he takes 2 steps back.
Man, you look at that, just a quick little turn of the shoulder, half second, and you get hit with not just a quick shot, but a powerful shot like that. Trust me, that shot not only buzzed Maloney, but it hurt him. Just timing. He thought Maloney was going to throw a shot.
Inoue was already in his flow state by the 6th round, and Maloney was in some very real danger.
4, 5, 6.
Inoue's a good finisher,
7,
too.
8, okay, come to me.
Position to throw this left hook. Maloney came in with a double jab. You know, we're taught to, step in behind with the double jab, and if you don't do it from the right distance, well, you get set up with shots like this. Beautiful left hook right in between. Nice step back, a half a step back by Inoue. Nice check hook right there from him.
A lot to deal with, fellas. Power, speed, quickness, timing.
And he smells blood. He may be the monster, but tonight he's a shark going after his prey in Jason Maloney from down under. Big right hand once again. Supreme focus from Naoya Inoue as Maloney gets caught with another left hook as he leaves his jab out there. Cleanly yet, except for that big shot early in the round. But he lands cleanly there with that right.
When Inoue eventually sprung his trap, the results were brutal.
Inoue as round 7 comes a big right hand from Naoya Inoue, and Maloney is down and hurt.
6, 7, 8.
It's over. It is over. Naoya the Monster Inoue on Halloween night knocks out Jason Mayhem Maloney. Right hand it was.
Inoue started this fight the way that he ended it. He just got on fire. He revved up his engine, and he was all gas and no brakes. He did everything. He showed speed. He showed power. He showed some flavor with his feet. And, he ended with a devastating right hand like that. Maloney just made a mistake. Threw a jab out there, and Inoue just took a half little step back, and just made him pay with a brutal shot. You saw that coming. We were talking about this over the last couple rounds. It doesn't look like much is happening, but there's a lot happening. And you see Inoue, a guy with an IQ, setting up a shot like that to have an emphatic victory here in the United States. There's a lot of people that are going to start to know this young man's name. And if he continues to put on performances like this, he will be a household name.
You don't get a nickname like the Monster for no reason. And once again, Inoue was showing us all why he is one of the pound-for-pound best on the planet. The WBC Bantamweight title was up for grabs for the winner of Junto Nakatani versus Alexandro Santiago. Could Nakatani still pack the same tremendous punch up in weight? Only time would tell.
Nakatani can get the power that he gets, even though he fights out of that wide stance the way he is.
His wife and kid were in danger there. They got out okay, but that wasn't easy to deal with in terms of the preparation for him in that fight.
No, he was cut over both eyes in that fight. Took some big power from the Donaire.
Santiago was no joke, though, and you could see his quality shining through in the early rounds.
Always wanted to be in the gym.
Mentioned last round that he draws a line in the sand, and then as you cross that critical distance line, he'll let that left hand go like that.
And it took him almost all of 2 rounds to finally get inside. But when he did so, he made Nakatani pay.
Yeah, those are big shots. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see him landing that jab over the top consistently. Boom, and he puts that left hand right behind it. Lightning quick.
And that's going to be Alejandro Santiago's challenge here tonight with 20 seconds to go in round 2. And so far, Chris, it's been Santiago trying to get inside close distance. Big right hand there lands for Santiago, and another one. Just as we were talking about what he was trying to do, he had success getting on the inside and throwing the right hand.
And that's really what Santiago's going to have to do tonight. He's going to have to take a risk to get inside, close that distance, and land shots like that. He's going to have to punch with...
Round 3 was officially where Junto started to take over.
You're going to have to catch him with something that he's not aware of. Uppercut the last 2 rounds. There was a beautiful one. There was that overhand left. I thought that was the punch that may have caused the cut, but it doesn't seem like it was. It's going to be very easy for Nakatani to take a half step back and be able to counter. That big left hand over the top catches.
That's a testament to the long left hand and the reach of Nakatani. That big left hand over the top. And there it is again.
Santiago needed to earn his opponent's respect here, and fast, because Nakatani was picking up steam.
Left hand gets through again for Nakatani. And of course the Maloney fight, which we showed highlights of, that was the looping left hand where he knocked out Maloney in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, we saw there, as soon as he threw that looping shot, he got into dangerously close. There we see that good use of range from Nakatani. That round he was utilizing.
And it seemed like Santiago had success with that right hand because it was a lead right hand, right? Usually, sometimes you set up the power shot with the jab.
Santiago is starting to realize that he has to punch with Nakatani because of his control of the range. So as Nakatani steps in to try and hit him, he's got to throw with him. The problem with that is for those shots coming back his way, but really that's his only shot at this point. He needs to punch with Nakatani.
Find openings on the difficult Junto Nakatani.
That he threw while Nakatani was throwing the uppercut from too far away. And there's that other shot you mentioned, changing levels, coming from a lower position.
In round 5, things officially went from bad to worse for Santiago.
Wants to leave their belt. Ooh, good shots there from Nakatani as he backs Santiago up. Santiago took that well because that was right on the money. Beautifully timed shot though. And there's that overhand jab, that 1-2-1 combination, followed with a lead.
Sweeping the opening rounds and now putting on a show in round 5. Combinations, quickness, movement.
And in the 6th, Junto finally decided to bring the hammer down. And it was a truly brutal and dominant moment.
Round.
Oh! Huge left hand by Nakatani drops the champion, Alejandro Santiago, in round 6.
You know, I'd mentioned multiple times.
Really is the limit. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that impressive performance.
Yeah, I'd said nearly flawless performance there. That was a flawless left hand. Santiago did not see that punch coming. Straight left hand right down the middle. Beautiful shot. Catches him on the point of the chin, put him down.
And here comes Junto Nakatani. Right hand. Down goes Santiago again. This time it was the right hook that caused damage to drop Santiago for the second time.
I think the corner stopped it. Yep, that's it.
That's the end of the fight.
Those last couple rounds, here we see the finish. It's going to be a right hook along the ropes, drops.
This was easily one of the most impressive wins of Junto's career, and it served as further proof that he was ready for yet another step up in competition. The first fight between Naoya Inoue and Donaire was an instant classic, but that 12th round was a tightly contested battle. The question now was who had learned more. Even in the opening round, you could see that Inoue was a very different fighter.
Inoue on several occasions in the first fight and sometimes gets overlooked because of his beautiful left hook. The Japanese crowd getting into it here, Dre.
Yes, good shot right there.
You see the jab of Inoue there with the counter right, and now a left hook from Inoue. One punch at any moment. You won't want to blink because they both have dynamite in their punches.
Which is impressive because the fighters are still warming up.
Nice left hook there from... Second time in their series.
He's hurt right now, Bernardo.
The belt was his greatest ally.
Everything, Inoue was winning that round, but nothing crazy had happened until it did. A quick right hand to the temple of Nonito, and it sat him right on his butt. He didn't know how he got there. He just realized that he was on the canvas, and that's the type of explosive power that we've been promoting this fight with. They both possess it, but Inoue's is a little bit different, and we saw it on full display in that first round.
And this time, it would take him 12 rounds to prove his superiority.
See that right hand from Naoya Inoue. Inoue, you have to pick your poison. Now it's a left hook that rattles Donaire. It's devastating power, and the legs of Donaire are not all there.
And Donaire needs to get himself together before he tries to load up, but that's not in his nature. He wants to draw Inoue in, even though he's hurt, to try to land his own big shots.
You see another vicious left hook from the monster, Naoya Inoue. Body shot from the monster.
Looks like Donaire has made up his mind. He's going to fight fire with fire, and that's just the way it is, for better or worse.
Left hook drops Donaire as he's able to somehow manage to find his balance. But Inoue might have been better to just go down, Dre, because Inoue is going to work here. And the left hook now does put down Donaire in round 2. And this fight is over.
That's
What
it.
an impressive knockout victory for the monster.
Wow.
And just like that, Inoue put this rivalry to bed. There was no drawn-out 12-round war, just one legend who was on his way out of the sport, and one who was just getting started. But out of these two Japanese killers, who do you think would win? And what's your exact round prediction? Let us know in the comments below.